5.
Hi, my name is Austin Bryan and welcome to the Highway City Science Workshop. Today we'll be doing the hand model prepared by me. And so I'll be going over all the material lists here. So you'll need popsicle sticks, jumbo popsicle sticks, because we'll be cutting 2 of them for one single finger, such as this model here, for the finger model here, and then we'll have the palm here. And then you'll need 3, at least for one finger, you'll need 3 bendy straws, and then preferably one single white zip tie, and then one colored one. Or if you just get a whole packet, it can be the same color, but just remember which is top and bottom. And then you'll also need a pair of side cutters, and if you don't have side cutters, you can still use just one single pair of good scissors. And then you need a roll of masking tape, or duct tape, if preferred. But to make all 5 fingers, you're going to need all of these, not just 3 and 3 and 2 of the zip ties. So now we're going to begin with our project. Okay, so your first steps on this project are to take your white or colored, doesn't matter which one you use, zip tie. And at the very top, you're going to want to bend that little part that's already pre-bent for you. But you just want to bend it down all the way, such as that. Give it a good squeeze, and that's it. So now, you're going to take your 2 popsicle sticks that you have, and then take your side cutters or scissors if you have them, and cut about 1 inch or so. Just give it a rough estimate, doesn't have to be exact. Keep cutting it until you have a bunch of little pieces. Because if you have some left over, they can be used for the next finger. Or if you have one that's too short, then you can go ahead and just move that off to the side and throw it away later. Okay. Now that these are cut, next thing you want to cut is take a pair of scissors and take your bendy straws and line them up as evenly as possible, and now cut them as evenly as possible. And you want to make sure too that you cut them roughly about the same length as you cut these, because if they're going to be a little bit longer, it's going to hang over and it might interfere with the bending of your project. So you want to make sure that they're about or the same size or a little bit smaller. So that should be enough for now. So gather all your stray straws and let's begin. So you're going to take your first piece and cut or rip a piece of tape off of your masking or duct tape. Then you're going to take, I like to use the rounded edge for my top. So your top is going to be like this. And you want to make sure that you place it a little bit below where it's bent. So about right there is fine. And then go ahead and tape it like so. And if it's a little crooked, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then you go on with the next one and get your other piece of tape. I like to have a couple on hand. And make sure that there's a little gap in between. It can be closer, it can be further. I like to go in between here and tape away. And then take your last piece and place it here, because there's only going to be 3. Like so. Okay, so now that you have all 3 pieces of your popsicle stick, you're now going to take your other colored zip tie, and with the square piece that's hanging off, you're going to put it onto your other zip tie like so. You're going to have to use a little bit of force as well, so go ahead and place it on and push it until you feel a little click. And if it goes on a little more, that's okay, and that's even better actually. So that way you can see the little bend in here, okay? Now, you take your other, or your straw pieces, place them onto your zip tie, and kind of forcefully push it down onto the popsicle stick. So now that you have this, forcefully push it down, hold it there, take your piece of tape, and make sure not to squeeze the straw. If you squeeze the straw, it's going to pinch the zip tie, and it's not going to move around as well as it should. So now, go ahead and repeat that for the next two. Okay, now that you have these two taped and attached to the other popsicle sticks, now you're going to take the one jumbo popsicle stick and attach it here towards the bottom, about the same distance that you've put these popsicle sticks in between. So you want the same space here as you have done with the other ones. Go ahead and take your tape, place it here. Make sure it's nice and tight, because you're going to be doing a lot of pulling on this one. Now, lastly, take your last piece of straw, put it on here, right over where you taped it, hold it there, and tape. Like so. Now, you have a fully functioning finger, such as that. Now you want to do it 4 more times, so that way you have all 5 of your fingers. Alright, now that you have all 5 of your fingers, now we're going to make the palm. So now you're just going to take one popsicle stick and 3 to 4 rubber bands for this project, okay? So now, this part can be a little bit difficult, so you might need the help of an adult or of an older sibling. So what you want to do is take your rubber band, place it about roughly halfway on your popsicle stick, and give it a good pull and twist. So you just want that one straight one, but the next one, it's going to have to cross this second one here that you have made. So you're going to twist again and then cross it. You want to make sure that it's close enough, but still far away enough from each other that you can place one of the popsicle sticks in between. Because what you're going to do is place it inside there. So then you're going to take that and do it 2 more times. So there and there. And if the rubber band feels a little loose, go ahead and give the tighter parts a little snug, such as here. That's a real tight part. So what we want to do is go ahead and just give it a little tug, play around with it a little bit, and there you go. Now you got yourself evenly tensioned rubber bands. So now you're going to do it one more time, but now on this side. Place it about here. But this time you're going to do 3 X's. So you want to do it a little bit tighter than usual. Make sure that they're not too tight. Got to loosen them up a little bit. Cross it. And this last one's going to be a little bit tight. So we can just leave that there like that. So you're going to have X's like so. And if you're not having complete X's, separate them from top to bottom. It's best. Now it's time to put your popsicle sticks inside. Okay? So now, it doesn't matter which side you can pick. I'm going to place it through the top. So I know it's upside down for you guys. So you'll be placing it in like this at your guys' angle. So you can take both of these, pull them upwards, place them around your popsicle stick like so, and forcefully put them in like so. Now you're going to repeat that on the next one here. Second one in. Scoot them over if you have to. Now take that last one right here. Press it inside. Okay, once you have all of them in, go ahead and slide them to the very ends, or if you have longer zip ties, go ahead and put the zip ties over them, and then go ahead and cross them like so. And go ahead and take your thumb piece, and over the first part right here that didn't have an X over it, go ahead and slip that through. But make sure, since it's the thumb, it'll be shorter than all of them. Now you take your rubber bands, your extra ones in case they have broken, and rubber band them all together as tightly as you can without breaking the rubber band. So now you have your fully fledged hand model. There you are. So I did forget one thing. You will need 3 rubber bands or more for this project, because as you saw before, I did break a couple of rubber bands, and even during, there was one rubber band that broke at the very end, but there was so much tension in between all of the rubber bands, it all held together just fine. So don't worry about it if it breaks towards the very end. Just only if you're putting it on is to replace the rubber bands, okay? Now, and it doesn't matter what size rubber bands you get, just as long as they're not really, really thick, okay? And so here's your material lists again, and here is the lesson for the project for today. So, we have tendons which attach to muscle to bone, such as what you have right here on your elbow, because it attaches to your elbow bone, all the way up to your tricep. And then you have your ligaments, which is nothing but your hands. So your hands are just puppets to your forearm muscles here. So it just attaches from bone to bone. And then our hands are attached by ligaments only. So like I said before, they're just puppets. And if you relax your hands, they're like this. So you have to stretch them out, such as this here. So when you pull it, that means you're putting tension on it, such as when you go like this. This concludes the end of this video. If you want more information about us, go ahead and contact us. Our address is here, phone number there, and go ahead and give us a like and subscribe.